I met that dog Colby when she was 1 year old, so she was already, adult puppy, you would say. And my husband worked all day long at work, the 8 hours plus driving. And then as a young adult in his early 20s, he just didn't give the dog enough exercise and attention, often leave her, just take her out for a second and then put her back in the cage. So he definitely created the problem, but she also came that way, kind of. He told me that the first day he came to his house, she could not be left alone even for a second, because she would, diarrhea everywhere in the house, for a second, okay? So yeah, that's why she always was in the cage when he wasn't home, and he didn't spend too much time with her. So at 1 year old, he met me. I was new to the country. I was on tourist visa back then, so I did not work. I was home all the time. And I have decided that it's time to fix her. Anxiety was so bad that I could not go and put a grocery away from the car or go to the garage and throw away garbage or recycling, because when I come back there was a surprise waiting for me to clean up. It was either urine or poop. So you can imagine how bad it was. She would always follow me everywhere I was going, okay? Everywhere. I was going to the washroom, she would go with me. I would go to the fridge, she would go with me. Unless she was deeply asleep, then not, but generally speaking, if she wasn't sleeping, she was following me. And I thought this is cute, but I think now I know that it's not supposed to be like that the dog is so attached to you that you can't separate yourself from the dog. So now maybe let's go to the solution to my problem. I don't know why, but actually I know why. So back in Poland we didn't use crates at all. This is something what we would never think of, never put our dogs in it. So first of the start, I knew that the main goal is that the dog is free in one room and eventually in the entire house. And spoiler alert, that's what happened. My dog was not crate at all. She had a whole house to wander where we are not home, and there was never any damage. Well, never any damage, shoes. With the shoes I had to be careful, but generally speaking there was no damage. There was no surprises when we were coming back. So I think I did fix the dog's anxiety. So now, that was very long time ago, so I kind of have to bring that memory back. I think the whole process took a little bit of time. I do not remember exactly how many months, because yes, it was a very long process, but like I said, it did fix itself. So I start with a small steps. Like I said before, I couldn't even go to the garage. So this is how I started. I just lived to the garage. I count 5-10 seconds. I came back and I would ignore the dog. I would not say hi to the dog. I would not pet the dog. I would not, oh good girl, you didn't pee or anything. I would be just very neutral, nothing happened. And eventually I would just spread the time longer and longer, but obviously that took time. That took, I don't remember, maybe weeks. And I was slowly making this waiting time for her much longer. But here is the thing: if your dog has a mistake, just clean it up and move on. Next time, maybe make the time gap when you are in the other room or you leave to the garage a little bit longer, okay? Then eventually I would just put her in one room. Once she got better, once she could wait 5-10 minutes without peeing, she was never really whining, but she would do her business and then went straight to destroying pillows or something. So once that urination and stuff was under control, I would put her to like one small cozy room. So it wouldn't be bathroom. I think it was my bedroom. So she could like sleep on the bed, whatever she wanted. Once she like stopped peeing and stuff. And I would start it again, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and longer. Another thing is, I think that's very important to have a success, is to make your dog tired enough so it just doesn't care anymore, it just wants to sleep. I think the number key in this whole method you call is make the dog tired, all the mental and physical activities before, so the dog is tired and it doesn't think about you as much. And also when you're coming back home, just playing, just ignore the dog. I know the dog is happy and excited, but just don't make a big deal of it, especially when you're training and you have a little bit progress, like 5 minutes, and then you come back and you're just like, yay, good dog, like you didn't do what you were usually doing in this time hold. Just poker face basically, and try to keep that excitement in you. No treats, nothing. I wasn't using treats for this. And yeah, with that patience, my dog eventually, like, that didn't took that long, okay? Like, I don't want to say that it took years or anything like that. Maybe a few months, because obviously fixing separation anxiety is one of the most difficult things, and if your dog has separation anxiety, I'm definitely feel for you. In the house, I would definitely discourage the following me. I would ask as much as the dog knows, sit and stay, lay down and stay. Like, the dog doesn't need to be your shadow. The dog needs to learn that it can breathe without you. I know this is maybe kind of cute when the dog is velcro like that, but I don't know, it's just like, just give me some space. And actually she was following me always, like the following never really stopped, but later on it was more because she was such a velcro type of dog than the separation anxiety. But I know that following the owner everywhere, it is side of separation anxiety. So at home right now, if my dog had separation anxiety, I would definitely cut that unicorn curb and just separate my dog from myself for a little bit. Just give me some space, let me breathe, and teach the dog that I am not everything the dog needs. Oh, I think my dog is pooping right now, so I'm just gonna hold my hand right now like that. And yeah, and I just want to encourage you to keep trying and not to give up. I know so many people giving like a special treat, like conks, something to occupy the dog, but I feel like, I don't know, the dogs just eat it and then they have a problem again. I would rather teach them how to relax and how to be calm and how to sleep, instead of just like giving them special treats and special foods in cones. Because yeah, again, like many people say that on the internet, that once the treat is gone, their dog is whining and barking. If your dog is whining and barking, then honestly I don't really know how to help you, because my dog wasn't barking. It was that she just was urinating and pooping and everything like that. And my goal was to in the crate it wasn't like that at all. In the crate she was fine, but again, I wanted my dog to be okay outside of the crate, and I wanted to be able to like go outside to the backyard for a second without my dog destroying something or pooping or something. And yeah, that was my main. That room I would leave my dog in, there was absolutely nothing, no pillows. Yes, in the bed later on, but at first, well, actually she wasn't biting duvets, she would just bite pillows, so I would remove that. I think next useful tip would be to develop a routine, so we do the same things every day and we practice staying alone after, I don't know, let's say work and a meal, and then well, a meal. Some dogs needs to go out actually after a meal. Whatever works for you, okay? Just develop some kind of strategy, something you think works and would help you, and do it slow again, right? So let's say after the walk, you start training the dog to stay alone for a little bit, and yeah, routine is so important for dogs. When we are chaotic and we don't know what we're doing, or we like switching things around all the time, I think it can be a little bit stressful for the dog sometimes. So if you don't have a routine, then definitely, wake up at the same time, walk your dog at the same time, play with the dog at the same time. They already have like an internal clock in them. It's kind of weird and crazy, but they really really do. They know everything. Like, my dog is waking up at 7 a.m. every day because that's how I programmed her. And sometimes she sleeps longer now, as long as I sleep, because we make her very tired now when it's warmer outside. We do a lot of running and exercising, so she is sleeping in. But in the winter, 7 a.m. and she would be awake, even when my kids were sleeping, and she would wake up. You know what? Mom's life is that you can never ever sleep in because someone else is awake and needs you. Anyway, routine, definitely. I know some people these are medications to the dog. I have never done that, but if you think your dog's separation anxiety is so severe and that the dog is so stressed that it's like eating him alive, then you know what? Then definitely do this as well. And I think everything combined will really make a difference, even if not right away. You will see progress eventually. I think what would help you, the owner of a dog with separation anxiety, is that following us by dog is something natural. They want to be everywhere where we go, some more less, some more, right? Like some more and more Velcro want to follow you to the washroom. Some won't care, but that's something what's not natural for humans, to be so attached and so much together. But for dogs, it definitely is. They want to go for the walk with us. They want to be everywhere with us, and staying home alone, maybe it's not natural to them, being out of the pack. So once you realize that and sympathize with your dog, then maybe you will feel better a little bit. I definitely had to give her the credit that she may be scared alone. My previous dog, I think she simply didn't know what to do with herself by herself, and maybe being away from the crate also, and because I really wanted her to be off crate the entire time, maybe it create some kind of stress, but I did it. I made it happen that she was crate free for the rest of her life. And actually, thank God, because we moved to another country with her, and she was also okay over there. So I think that was fixed under a year for sure, when she was completely stable. But also I listened somewhere that dog younger than 18 months can't really help himself, can be trusted off crate. And as I said, she was only 1 year old, so maybe I should wait longer with that training, and maybe there will be no problem. Well, actually, peeing and pooping immediately after someone leaves, it's not normal, right? It's not normal. Dogs don't do that. She may wait under the door for me, but she shouldn't just lose her mind. So there was anxiety. But if I keep her in the crate, I don't want to put her in the crate because I leave for a brief second. It was just annoying, especially that I live in a townhouse. There was 3 levels, garage was on the very bottom, her crate was at the very top in the spare room. So it was a lot of work, I would say. But yeah, maybe it was too early, I don't know, but at the end of the day it fixed. Also in Poland, like I said, we do not crate dog, or at least we did not do that 12 years ago. And maybe now things change, I don't know. But back then we did not really use crate when we were living. So this was for me very unnatural to keep the dog locked out, locked in when I am, away from the house. So yeah, summarizing very quickly, because I feel like I'm wander all too much, it would be to not to give your dog attention when you come back, so not good girl, good boy, staying alone, nothing like that. Made it like nothing really happened. Second would be practice, very small, as needed, adjust, take steps back, don't move too fast, because it's not worth it. If you create your dog, that's fine. I think those things would still apply. But if you are like me, you want your dog free run, then definitely put your dog in one small room, because perhaps the whole house may be a little bit overwhelming. Make sure that there is nothing the dog can destroy. But even if the dog finds something to destroy, then still don't punish the dog when you come back, right? And that being said, also Harley is not, she used to be crate trained, but it was when she was puppy, so probably not anymore. She can stay in the whole house now, but when I leave her, when my husband is working, doors are closed, and I am going to the store, for example, and she's staying, she can be everywhere, and she just sleeps on the couch. But when we leave the house, she stays in my bedroom, and she sleeps under the bed, and she's totally fine. Actually, even I think right now she went under the bed to sleep. So that next would be, put some medications going on, some diffusers, right? They have a special sense for dog to calm them down. Have a routine, make sure the dog is run and has exercised. That will definitely help the dog to just calm down. You can totally try the calms and whatnot. I did not, because I wanted my dog to sleep. I didn't want my dog, brain to keep working. I just wanted her to sleep. So I would practice being calm. I would also practice the dog staying wherever the dog is staying. When I am moving around the house, the dog does not need to follow me at all. Can be even annoying sometimes. Sometimes you want a little bit of space, and that's okay. Even that it's natural for the dog to follow you everywhere. It's okay for the dog to be alone. So practicing confidence, practicing independence, and I think all of this together and a lot of patience and a lot of time would eventually fix your dog, and never ever punish your dog if the dog actually does something bad when you are away, even if you already had so much success and then something happened like that, because it's not gonna help you. It just takes you a few steps back if you lose your patience. I know it's hard, because things are expensive sometimes, and the dogs can be really destructive. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comment down below if I was able to help you today. So see you next time.